Welcome everyone to After Dark. We have a huge show today. How are you tonight, Ted?
Kara, I am pretty good. I am recovering from that big Fixed Ops Roundtable. The question is, how are you?
Man, I am kicking. I had a good Monday today, and we're wrapping up the end of the month here at the store, so I'm feeling good.
So let me get this straight. You and I are live right now, right?
I think so, unless, we look this good in heaven. I think I'm still alive.
I like that. That's a good line. And we've got a great guest for everybody today who will be with us very shortly. But first, we want to remind everybody that our show is brought to us tonight, Kara, by whom?
BG Products. We love them so much. Partners Beyond Products. Thank you to BG for sponsoring us every single week.
Yep, BG is fantastic. And as I said, we have a special guest we'll get to very shortly. And Kara, I really hope that he brings his dog with him tonight, because his dog is very adorable. And I know you have a thing for golden retrievers. So
I sure do. I love animals in general, but I have always wanted a golden retriever. So I'm hoping his dog makes an appearance on tonight's show.
I'm hoping so too. And speaking of which, we had the big Fixed Ops Roundtable 2 weeks ago, and we have another one coming up in May, and we're almost at the end of March now. So can you believe it? We're already planning this far ahead. Tell us a little bit about the next one that's coming up, if you don't mind.
Yes, so I'm gearing up to get ready for this next one. It's on May 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's going to be all virtual, online again, and it is called May the Fort be with you. May the Fixed Ops Roundtable be with you. So you can get your complimentary ticket now at fixedopsroundtable.com. That way you don't forget between now and then, because things are moving quickly and we're getting excited for this Star Wars theme.
So let's see, Star Wars. I'm thinking, what can you possibly do to help promote this event? Do you have anything in mind? Or
man, y'all have probably already seen that I've got a lightsaber in here that is pretty cool. And I think I got a costume actually delivered today that y'all will be seeing here shortly. So it's going to get pretty interesting with a lot of Star Wars characters. So we got a lot happening before that event in May. And y'all think I brought some interesting stuff so far. You have no idea with these outfits that I'm about to bring to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
She's yelling a lot tonight, everybody, so I think she's a little nervous about this one. But I did see a TikTok video posted on Facebook over the weekend, and I've got it here. If I feel it's all right, I'll share it with you. So where are you doing that exactly? Where's that taking place?
So that is on the other side of our wall in our studio, over by our bathrooms. And my boss, Eric, brought me that lightsaber because he is like an avid Star Wars fan. Like, he is getting me actual Star Wars characters that people have built. And it's going to be so over the top. So he was so excited, and he was like, oh, we have to make so many videos with this. And so he was like, come out of the back door. We have all the lights off. And my coworker walks in the middle, and she was like, what are y'all doing back here with the lights off and the lightsaber going? It was pretty funny.
So I think, and here's Michelle McLean. Michelle said that she's going to help you a little bit with some of the Star Wars themes to make sure that we got all that going on there. So we got some guests with us tonight. And John, welcome. Thank you so much. Robert, thank you for being here. We also got Larry Feldman here. Larry, good evening. How are you? Good to see you. So we'll come back to everyone here in just a few moments. So I want to talk to you tonight a little bit, Kara, if I may, about the secret life of a deal jacket at the dealership, and basically all the things that deal jacket goes through once the car arrives off. I would assume, Kara, that the jacket is created when a vehicle comes off the new car carrier, and then it's stuffed with some papers. Do you have any of those, by the way, at your store?
I actually have a lot. I tried to get my hands on one of them, but they didn't let me in the back office earlier, so I didn't grab one. But I have seen many of those, and where I see them the most is in a massive room that's just full of them. And it's like, we need something out of one of them, and it's everybody hunting through all these files to dig around and try to find the exact one, and they're all color coded, and it is quite a scene in that room. It's like you might get buried in deal jackets.
Imagine that. I don't think, by the way, that deal jacket process has changed in the car business for like 50 or 60 or 70 years. I think it's the same process. So I want to introduce Kara, our guest tonight, because he's intimately involved with those deal jackets and converting them into a modern technology for our dealers. And everyone, please welcome Cesar Augustus, who is the CEO of Dealer Scanning. Hey, Cesar.
Hey, how you doing, Ted? How you doing, Kara?
We're happy to have you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Good to see you guys.
I'm anxious to learn all about how we're going to solve this problem in every dealership.
And Cesar, it is a problem, right, for many dealers?
Oh yeah, it definitely keeps us in business, right? Thousands of dealers around the country are still storing this paper files in the back rooms.
Yeah.
File rooms in the back of the dealership. In most cases, they have to find offsite storage, and dealers get pretty creative on where they store this stuff, and it creates a bunch of issues, security issues. They're prone to natural disasters, fires, floods. Yeah, can you imagine trying to find a deal jacket or a repair order in this mess? Is almost impossible.
And Cesar, it's not uncommon, by the way, that dealerships, once they fill up all the available space in this store, like including the basement, the attic, they start getting trailers and putting these outside into the trailers.
No, it's again, like I said, we are in the car business, and we know that people are creative, and we're never surprised with what people can do. Yeah, this is an example of a dealer that, believe it or not, Ted and Kara, I actually followed up with this dealer for about 2 years.
Okay.
And talked to him about the benefits of scanning. And it took him 2 years to make the decision because, there's an old school mentality that you need to see the paper in order for it to be valid, which is totally false. Scanned copies are valid copies, legal copies in the court of law. It's been around since the 1980s, 70s. So, yeah, you find these dealers that unfortunately are old school, and for some reason they can't make the leap.
That's what I always.
We're helping them coming on board and just save them lots of time, space, and keeping them compliant.
I always wonder, years and years go by. And I've always wondered that in our room at our stores that's full of all these files, I'm like, what's going to happen in 20 years? Like, they're going to have to build another building to house all of these binders and deal jackets. I'm like, I don't understand how you have enough space for all of this.
So, yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Many dealers that we bring on are dealers that are moving to a new location. They're all the building, they outgrown their building, so they build a new location, and guess what? The new building doesn't have a file room.
Yep.
So they call us, and they have 5-7 years of files that they need to scan, and we come in and we help them, we support them with that process. But yeah, it's usually that's how some dealers change. So the old school ones, they're forced to change.
When you get them to change, do they actually throw away the file? What do they do with it?
Yeah, so. Again, it's about trust. We don't recommend our dealers for the first 3 months until they get comfortable with us to throw any files away. But as you get comfortable with the system and you can actually type in this case, a deal jacket number or a stock number, and you can find the deal jacket, and then you can find all the pages. It takes a trust level for then after a couple of months. I have dealers that basically scan to shred. But that's really the power of our system, which is it's very easy to use. It's just a button click away, and we check for a bunch of stuff to make sure that the scan goes through properly. And yeah, a lot of dealers are scanning to shred. Some are still keeping their files because they still want to feel a comfort level of,
they got trust issues.
Some do.
So I've actually learned a lot about scanning from Cesar in the last couple of years. And real quick, Cesar, I want to mention how you and I how we met each other. We were doing the very first Fixed Ops Roundtable. It'll be 3 years ago in May. And I got a phone call, Kara, like, Cesar, was it like 2 days before the event?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was in Chicago.
I get a phone call at the office from a guy named Cesar. They said, Cesar Augustus is on the phone. And I'm like, yeah, right, sure. And they go, no, that's his name. And they put me through, and that's Cesar Augustus. And he goes, I have a company that we scan. At the time, it was dealers. It was service scanning, right, Cesar?
Right.
And I want to come to the meeting. He goes, I can fly in. I can be there that morning. And you came and you got things rolling with us and started telling us about how scanning works.
Yeah, no, that was quite the. I'm so excited that I actually caught that ad, I think, on LinkedIn, and that there was space available. You told us there was space available, but there wasn't really space. We were so crammed up in that conference room; it was crazy. But it was good. That was really good stuff. And yeah, that's how we met, and it's been a great relationship ever since. And thanks to you, we've gotten lots of dealers, and I know they love our product, and we made you proud, Ted.
Cesar, you definitely have. And Kara, I thought that they were just big companies, like maybe the ones, by the DMS companies like CDK and Reynolds. I thought they actually did the dealer scanning, but then I realized that Cesar has a solution that's compliant with all of them. And Cesar, I've got a video I want to show real quick, but before take us through a little bit about how that works.
Well, so here's really the advantage that we offer. So you mentioned the big companies, the CDKs of the world, the Reynolds, the Dealertrack, any of the big major DMSs. Well, what they do very well is manage dealerships, right? That's their bread and butter. They're very good at taking inventory, managing the sales process, accounting, HR, all the things we know that the DMS does. But let me tell you, man, they're a lousy scanning company. They offer very antique and non-competitive and pretty much lame scanning solution for their clients, because that's not what they do. Mm-hmm. Their core is making sure the dealership runs. So they don't have the resources, they don't have the expertise, they don't have the talent to create the best scanning that they can create for their clients. That's where we come in. That's all we do. All our energy, all our developers, all our focus is geared to making the scanning of the RO or the deal jacket as efficient as possible. So we don't have a generic system. We're specifically tied to the auto industry. It's customized. That's why when we come in, people love the product, because all you have to do is click a button for the ROs. It scans, reads the RO number. We in the back end integrate with your DMS to make sure that the data is proper. We can do reporting. We're the only company out in the industry that can actually report against your DMS and give you the scan counts. So, scanning is only as good as the person that's scanning, and if you can keep track of what's going on. So for example, if your dealership is doing, let's say, 1,000 repair orders a month, well, you want to make sure that by the end of the month, you've scanned 1,000 repair orders, correct? Well, no other system out there will tell you how many ROs were closed,
really,
and how many have been scanned. We're the only one in the industry that can do that. So by the end of the month, if you had 1,000 ROs, and you've only scanned 980, well, it would be nice to know that you missed 20.
Yeah.
Because if you're shredding those things, you got to make sure they're scanned. And we're the only ones that can give you that reporting, because we have the integration with DMSs to get the data and compare it to what we've scanned. Wow. So yeah, we do the best job as far as scanning in the industry for car dealerships.
So quick fast forward. It's like 6 months later. It's now coming in on winter, and I'm up in Albany, New York, and I'm doing my service thing, Kara, up at DePaula, Chevrolet, Ford, Mazda. And again, Albany, New York, it's cold. And who do I see in the dealership? But I see Cesar, and he's doing an install on that dealership. And I took this video, Cesar, and I showed this at the recent roundtable, but I want to show it to Kara and everybody. Let everyone see how simple, basically, your system is.
What's up? I'm here at the Pola Chevrolet. We're just installing the new scanning unit. I'm showing the ladies how to scan a repair order. It's so simple. You basically take your typical repair order, put it on the scanner, bring up the scanning application, click on the scan repair order. It's gonna scan the front and back. If there's any pages that are stuck together, it'll tell you that they're stuck together. Or if there are any multi-feeds, it'll tell you. Very nice. So right now, all you have to do is put in the repair order number, 731-864.
Okay. So now it's in there.
Yep.
So now how
click
do we...
OK, you click view. You can review the contents of the repair order very easily. It's right there.
Excellent.
And you have this small battery test receipts. Just put them on the side and click scan other items. It just adds it to the repair.
And that won't get stuck in there.
It won't get stuck. But if it does, it'll tell you, and it's very easy. We'll test one out, but you can view it. And what I'm gonna do later on is I'm gonna add a viewer to your machines so that everyone can look it up by repair order number, big number, and customer name.
That'll be great.
That's it.
Okay.
It is that simple. I'm done, man. I can go back to West Palm Beach now.
Wow.
And it really is that simple.
So I have a question though. If, the ladies there in that video are scanning stuff in, if they make an error on their end, how easy is it to go back and find those files if they entered the number incorrectly or something of that sort?
Right. So for this was, Ted caught me literally red-handed while we were doing the training. We actually read the repair order number off of the repair order. So that was our first day there. So we actually just do a little setup afterwards to make sure that we read the repair order number, or if there's a barcode, we read the repair order. So very few times does the user have to input the repair order number. But like I said, with the reporting at the end of the month, we'll be able to tell if a repair order number has been mistyped. Cool. But yeah, it's very, very easy to use.
So Cesar is playing up against, if I can, Cesar, the big boys out there, with this scanning solution, and you integrate with all the big DMS companies, right?
Correct. Yeah, we're a CDK partner. We work with Automate. We work with DealerTrack. Yeah, we play with all the big boys, and I have dealers that actually pay because of the contracts. They're paying the DMS, but I know that system is not the best, that they'll pay us also to use our system. I have a couple of dealers that are doing that because it's just the time savings. It's really what matters, because filing and taking time to put things away, that's just, it just eats away the value that someone else could be doing something that's customer facing, that adds more value to the dealer.
But the best part is that Cesar doesn't have anybody sign a long-term contract. They're month to month. And Cesar, it's a flat fee for the machine, right?
We have an incredible, amazing offer. It is $500 a month, $500 install. This stuff you see back here, the scanning station and the scanner and the touchscreen. Yeah. We provide that, so you do not have to buy any equipment. In the video you were taking up in the Pola, Ted, I don't know if you saw on the floor, there was this big scanner that's set in the floor because that's what they were using. That's about a $6,000 scanner that promises to run through 100 repair orders at once. But what happens is that as you feed repair orders, things get stuck, and then it gets jammed, and the whole thing just becomes a mess. So what people end up doing is just scanning one at a time. And it's a $6,000 scanner, which basically it's a waste. So we offer the equipment, There's a lifetime warranty on the equipment. So if something happens to that scanner or the touchscreen, you give us a call and we'll send you one. We'll overnight you one, no extra cost. It's very simple. And you know what's the biggest challenge is that people don't believe it, that it's that easy. So when I have new dealers, they'll say, we'll do one scanning station. And I'll go in and we'll send our guy to do the install and training. And after 2 or 3 days, they're like, wow, it is this easy. Let's get 2 more.
In fact, DePaula did the same thing with you, right?
Yeah. Now they have multiple scanning stations throughout the dealerships.
So what's happening is that Cesar is so affordable with this solution that integrates with all these DMS players. When the DMS, I won't mention any names, Cesar, when the DMS contract comes up with the dealer, when it comes up for renewal and the dealers are paying tens of thousands of dollars for that DMS. What the DMS companies are doing now is saying they'll throw in the scanning if the dealership renews with the DMS player. And a lot of the dealers don't even realize that Cesar's out there for $500 a month with a better solution than they could ever possibly get from their DMS player.
Yeah, that's the challenge for us as a up and coming company, that we're fighting against a free product that promises to be free, but if you look down the line, there's maintenance fees, there's equipment fees, and you're having to pay for your own equipment. The other thing is that with us, the data is always yours. Yeah. So one of the advantages is that if your dealer changes DMS, or they say they terminate the relationship with us, we give you back all your PDFs. We give you all the scanned files are yours. No, I call it no ransom fees.
You don't hold them hostage, okay?
You don't hold them hostage for any of that, which unfortunately in the industry, when other dealers have switched DMSs or left to go to a different scanning company, there's a big $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 bill that they have to pay for their files. I think that's not the right way of doing business. And we're just clear, man. We're clear. We want to have a good long-term relationship with our clients, and we have raving fans all over the country.
I know you do. In fact, what he's done, Cara, is that the dealer scanning has become so successful in the last couple of years that Cesar has been giving back. And Cesar, if you don't mind, talk to us a little bit about your initiative to give back to the youth.
Yeah, thank you, Ted. We get to move it forward, right? I'm a huge sports fan. I'm a huge soccer fan. I'm originally from Colombia, so Colombia, the #1 soccer sport is soccer. So what we did is we identified this very much neglected area in southeast Colombia, and we created a soccer academy and technology school. And what we have now, we're using soccer as the magnet to bring kids from ages 7 to 16 and teach them some skills around soccer, community work, teamwork, just values that I believe are important based on, there's a book I read a long time ago called The 4 Agreements. And the 4 agreements are: be impeccable with your word, always do your best, don't take anything personal, and don't make assumptions. So we're driving about, like I said, 200 kids, bringing them into the academy. And now the next step is to work with them to teach them some skills that I believe are valuable in the 21st century. So we want to focus on technology skills. We want to teach them how to use computers. And the ones that do use the computers and enjoy it, we want to teach them maybe programming, graphic design. We want to teach them accounting, just some of the technical skills that I know are valuable. And that's what gets a community out of poverty, right? That's where you can make the impact. We bring them through soccer because that's kind of like the carrot. Everyone loves soccer. But the reality is that 1 out of 10,000 will make it into the pros, right? And then 9,000 will be out in the workforce with no real skills. So our goal is to obviously work with soccer because we love it. We have a team. It's called Atlético Americano, and we want to develop some young kids that are passionate about soccer. But the majority of them, we know they need an education. And again, this is a very neglected area in Colombia. So lots of needs for education, for food, for clothing, for housing, and we're just doing our part.
Wow.
So,
and I saw about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, you had online, you were collecting with your family, with your daughters, you were collecting the shoes, the cleats. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So, we're blessed to be in the United States where we can afford things. Most people can. And especially kids that go play soccer. A lot of these kids just go and they'll play 2 or 3 soccer games in a season, and their foot grows, right? Because if you're 12, but next year you're growing an exercise. So what we did is we did a soccer drive with a couple of the schools here in Palm Beach County, here in South Florida. And yeah, we've collected over 200 pairs of used cleats in good condition. But someone surprised us with 10 new pairs of Neymar, who's a major soccer player. Neymar, his cleats, which they're like $200 each. So we have like 10 pairs of those. And what we're going to do is we're sending them down to Colombia, and they're going to be given to the MVPs of the team. But that's the work, right? It gets people involved. Kids get to see that they made a donation. Obviously, my daughters are part of it. We got a lot of people around us that are very interested, and people just love to support, right? People love to give back, and instead of having the cleats in your garage, there's some kid down in Colombia that's running with them, and you never know, man. That might be the linchpin to, that will be the story 20 years, 10 years from now, where that kid's gonna be playing in England or Italy or Spain, and they say, I remember one day some stranger gave me a pair of cleats. So yeah, it's cool, it's fun.
That's awesome.
And Cara, Cesar is all about this message of self-improvement and giving back. He plays a big part in Tony Robbins in his seminars and workshops. He doesn't like to talk about this a lot, but he's behind the scenes helping orchestrate those, Cesar, huge events.
Yeah, so Tony Robbins is a huge mentor for me and our family, and the coaching that he's provided throughout the years have made this possible, right? And so I do volunteer for the events. He just hosted a 25,000 virtual event for his Unleash the Power event from people all over the world, and I learned so much. And I told you, Ted, I learned from you and Tony Robbins because, when COVID hit, you had 2 options. Either you surrender or you push through. And what Tony did, and then what you did with the virtual events, that's the way you handle adversity, right? And so we go to these events, we support people, and it's just a blessing to be able to do that.
And Cesar is always like sending me stuff. Look what Tony Robbins did here with this virtual event. Look how he did this one. Because I guess, Cesar, he gets all the new big technology from companies like Zoom. He gets to use it first.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he actually, I think a couple of months after COVID hit, the first 3 months, he got together with Zoom and all these other major companies invested $20 million to create this studio where you can actually have literally 25,000 people on screen. He can see every person. Wow. And now he uses that studio to do other events, and people rent out this. He's the ultimate entrepreneur. I mean, he's always looking to get better and use every opportunity available. All right. He says, and I learned resourcefulness is your ultimate resource. Yeah. So I believe that. And that's why I go out and I ask people to make donations, cleats, help people in different places. And it's the resourcefulness of everyone that ultimately helps other people.
Wow.
And when you drive down Palm Beach, down that one street that's right along the ocean, Cesar, I think one of those homes belongs to Tony Robbins. If I'm not mistaken. He's one of your neighbors, right?
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
Well, we live close, but I'm not one of his neighbors. So
and you know the homes I'm talking about.
I like to run. I run marathons, and so they live. Donald Trump and Tony Robbins live around 13 miles apart from each other. So I call it the Tony Robbins, Donald Trump half marathon. So it's a good. It's right on the beach, on Palm Beach. It's a beautiful run in the morning. So it's
wow.
fun.
Yeah. It's a good neighborhood.
Yeah, apparently.
All right. So are we going to get to meet Portia, or is that not going to happen?
I think Portia's. I think she's on a walk. I told her to bring her in by 7:30, but she's walking.
Oh.
All right. So Cesar, if people want to reach you at Dealer Scanning, what's the easiest way?
Yeah, so they can go to our website, dealerscanning.com, or if you go to the web on Google and type repair order scanning, we own that first page. Dealerscanning.com. It's easy, and reach out to us. My phone number is 561-385-8177. Yeah, and what we offer for the Fixed Ops Roundtable group is we'll offer 2 months for free. No commitment, no cost. Just really a way to test out, test drive our system. And after 2 months, if you don't like it, give us a call. We'll take our equipment. We'll give you back your files, and off you go. That's really the best way that some of these old school dealers or some of these old school GMs or owners don't want to spend the money because they think they're spending money instead of they're saving time. This is the best way to get the product in the dealership.
Wow. And Cesar, I was so pleased to learn that big dealer group I just trained the week before last, the Fields Automotive Group in Chicago, 39 dealerships, Brian Cullinan, that they use dealer scanning, not in all their stores. We got to get them in all the stores, Brian. But we got to get, again, Fields has already had great success with it. I'm aware of that. So I was really pleased to learn that, they've had you there now for a couple of years. So.
Yeah, dealer groups love our system, especially around. So some of the dealers have gone from having a warranty admin at each of their stores, and then they get dealer scanning, and then they basically can scan the repair orders. So I have a dealer group out in Georgia. They have about 14 stores. They used to have one warranty admin at each store. They went to scanning. Now they have 4 warranty admins in one central location that manages all the 14 dealerships. So just the cost savings on that. Can you imagine?
Wow.
And we're seeing more of the dealer groups going to that model where the warranty admin can be in one central location and manage a couple of stores.
I like it.
Very nice.
Cesar, thank you so much for being here tonight. Appreciate it.
No, thank you, Ted. And Kara, thank you. I always thank you so much for your guidance, Ted, and always for what you've done. And I can't wait to see more, man. I'm always very excited to hang out with you guys.
And Cesar, next week on this show, next Monday night, we have another special guest, and that's going to be the incredible Randy Brinkman is going to be here next Monday, April 4th. And then later in the month, we're going to have Tully, your friend Tully Williams, Cesar, is going to be here on April 18th. So we're looking forward to having Tully at the show. And Kara, when is the big event in May again?
May 17th, 18th.
Hit the wrong button, sorry.
17th, 18th, and 19th of May.
Okay, that's this one here.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
We got it.
I'm still getting used to all the controls, Cesar. So
that's all right, dog. I'm amazed. You're amazing, dude.
All right. So
well, we appreciate you, Cesar. I was blown away by what you're doing and then your charitable work as well. Hopefully you make it down to Texas, maybe come up north a little bit when you're down here next week.
There we go.
We'd love to have you. But it was a great conversation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ted. Thanks, Cesar. And on behalf of After Dark, I'm Kara Delane. We'll see you next Monday at 8 p.m.